It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Hey, good morning and welcome to the S&H Farm Supply High School Highlight Show here on Jock 98.7 ESPN Radio. We are at Postgame Pizza in Marshfield, Missouri. Pleased to be joined by the Strafford Indians and head basketball coach Tyler Ryerson. Coach, hey, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having us.
Coach, we're into December. Everyone's on holiday breaks and everything. It's about the time you kind of evaluate the start of your season, and then you've got the blue and gold coming up, which will kind of help you evaluate the start of the season. But how's it gone up to this point?
Well, pretty good. I mean, we're 5-3. Lost a close one last night to Hartville. The 3 teams we've lost to: Bolivar, Hartville, and then Valley Springs at Arkansas. 3 really good teams, and I think we had a shot in each of those losses. So, like the way we're playing right now.
Kind of handicapped your team. I know you've got seniors here. But what's kind of the breakdown, between the classes?
Yeah, we've got 7 seniors, and then 2 juniors and a host of sophomores. We got 1 freshman getting some varsity time this year, A.K. Rail.
And just for the folks that know a little bit about your background, where you kind of grew up and played. And
sure.
How'd you arrive at Strafford?
Played at Willard, graduated in 2004, played 4 years at Missouri Southern, and then kind of started coached at Glendale, Willard, went to Arkansas for a couple of years. My first head job was at Lamar. I was there 2 years, and then came here. This is my 2nd year here.
Lamar, the big football school. And
sure.
Struggled a little bit the last couple of years. 7 in a row. Were you there when that kind of started?
I was there for the last 2, and it's unbelievable. I mean, it's awesome to be a part of. Just toughness and work ethic, and they got after it.
Were you surprised that Coach Bailey resigned?
Me and Coach Bailey are pretty close. We had a really good relationship for 2 years. Kind of showed me that football and basketball and all coaches can really work together and support each other. As far as surprise, I'm not really sure. I think you win for so long that you build this monster, and it's kind of hard to keep feeding it, and I think it kind of wears on you when everybody talks about is winning, and just kind of wears you down a little bit.
Kind of almost harder to stay on top than it is to get to the top.
Sure, yeah, no question.
Well, you've got 7 seniors alongside here. We'll start right here, introduce this young man. We'll visit with him a little bit.
This is Sawyer Lumley. Sawyer is a senior for us. He missed last year with an ACL, and he's coming back, starting some games, coming off the bench some games. Can really shoot it offensively. He's one of our best players. He's getting there defensively. So this is Sawyer.
Sawyer, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I am good. Why don't you kind of handicap your game a little bit? Coach talked about you're being a pretty good outside shooter. What do you think of your game?
Well, I really like to spot up. Catching it and shooting it pretty good, and I'm working back into it after missing last year. I'm getting better at attacking the rim and kind of playing that way too.
What was the toughest part about having to be out last season? I mean, you probably learned a lot about the game because you had to watch and pay maybe different attention to it. What did you learn about the game, or maybe learn about yourself sitting out last year?
Well, it's definitely a lot different to watch basketball from the bench, and you kind of help coach players along throughout that, and you notice the little things. And then going through rehab was pretty tough, and just made me want to get back out there and play with my boys.
Now, Sawyer, when you came back, what was maybe your biggest challenge of trusting the rehab, trusting the knee? I've had 7 knee surgeries, so that you come out of it and you think, okay, can I trust it this time?
Yeah, it's just kind of like a mental thing. Like, it feels great all the time, but it's like, can I really make this move to the hole, or can I really go get that rebound or stuff like that? But it's all out of the way now, and I'm good to go.
What are kind of your maybe roles and responsibilities on this team?
Well, I think I can pass the ball pretty well, so I like to get my teammates open and give them opportunities to score. I can also spot up pretty well and shoot the ball. So those are kind of my responsibilities.
Was there a game maybe coming into this season that you were really looking forward to, or maybe it's a tournament? You know, maybe it's the blue and gold, or maybe you host a tournament, or anything on the schedule that you were really looking forward to?
I think we're all looking forward to playing Fairgrove, and we're all looking forward to hosting districts. So kind of looking towards the end of the season.
Yeah. Coming into this season, did you have any personal goals or team goals?
Our goal as a team is to win districts, so I think we're all trying to work towards that and just get better every game.
Hey, Sawyer, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You bet. Coaching now. Who do we have next here to your left?
This is Nick Losh. Nick is a great shooter. He was working his way up defensively and really made improvements over the summer. Nick has recently had a non-contact knee injury, so he has missed the whole season so far. We're waiting an MRI result on his knee. Nick missed his sophomore year with an ACL. Started to work into some playing time late last year, and then good to go, and kind of one of those things at practice where nobody's around him, he makes a cut, and so we're hopeful that Nick can come back after we get the results in.
Nick, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing well. Tough. You know, just back to back. You guys right here right at the front of the interview. You know, with knee injuries. Well, what's it been like? What have you struggled with there? I mean, I know it's got to be hard to sit and watch.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to sit and watch, especially my senior season, wanting to be out with all these guys, playing with them from when we were little.
Yeah. How has your role changed? I mean, obviously you may be taking on almost maybe like an assistant coaching type role.
So that's what I was telling Coach Ryerson last night. I needed to get my stipend pretty soon, but yeah, I think I've just been trying to talk to these guys, trying to talk to some of them, trying to tell them give them any tips or pointers or anything. See if I can help out.
Kind of the same question, I asked Sawyer. I mean, what have you learned about yourself, and what have you learned about the game of basketball, going through this?
I think it's a good opportunity to sit down and watch it. I've learned a lot over the 2 years that I've had to sit down now, but just learned a lot from everything that I've had to watch. Listening to Coach Ryerson, learning from him.
Is this maybe going to put you in a situation where someday you may want to step into that coaching role or a coaching role?
I thought about being a golf coach, but not really a basketball coach.
Golf coach? You like golf?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're on a golf team, I'm assuming.
Yep.
How does that, with your injury, that's probably obviously a lot easier on your knee, but there's still a lot of lower body stuff in golf.
Yeah. The doctor told me, he said he really didn't have a problem with me playing golf, so I think we're going to try it if it ends up being the worst case scenario.
All right, well, Nick, I apologize, but hey, wish you well, man. Godspeed. Godspeed. Coach, who do we have next?
It's Cade Rear. Cade's my resident goofball on the team. Cade's had a really good year so far. Kind of stepped into a new role. Came off the bench for us last year. We lost 4 starters last year, and Cade really earned some big minutes coming down the stretch last year. Helped us win a crazy district game defensively, and Cade, great defender, can guard 1 through 5. Probably one of our best passers on the team as well. He's actually shot it okay this year too, so we're pretty happy with that.
Cade, how are you?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for having me.
You bet. So you feel like you shot it okay too?
Yeah, that's the part of my game I've tried to work on the most, like in the summer and stuff.
Well, Coach, you alluded to the fact that you can guard 1 through 5. Is that what's been your biggest challenge this year? And I know you've played some outstanding teams.
Yeah, for sure. Probably at the Jamboree, going up against Daniel Brady. Yeah, he's a stud. He's hard to guard. He'll push you down the paint and stretch out up at the top. Just a hard player to guard all the way around.
Coming into this season, were there teams on your schedule that you're looking forward to? Maybe to guard Daniel Brady, or I'm not sure about Bolivar's roster. I know they've got a pretty good freshman.
Cade guarded that freshman the entire game.
Yeah. Just going up against Fairgrove and Catholic, because in the past they've beaten us, and I don't take too kind to losing, especially to like close teams like that and districts and stuff. So I just want to come out and especially beat them for sure.
What do you do, to get kind of mentally prepared on a day where you know you're going to guard the best player on the floor from the other team? What do you do to get prepared? Is there film? Is there?
Yeah. Watch a lot of film, see their moves, see what they like to do before they shoot it, what they do to post up, and also listen to music. That gets me in the zone before games. Gets me hyped up for it.
Did you have any team or personal goals coming into this season?
Like Sawyer said, to win districts and make a run and stay. I've enjoyed a lot my senior season to make a run with these guys. It's pretty fun to be around. So, yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for coming in. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Coach, who do we have next?
It's Clay Lawson. Clay has earned a starting role for us this year after coming off the bench for the first 4 games, and it is 100% on his defensive abilities. This guy is a superstar defensively. Put him on their best guard, and he can switch, and he can guard anybody. I mean, similar to Cade, he can guard anybody.
Okay, I missed the name.
Clay Lawson.
Clay. I thought you said Clay. Yeah, I'm confused. Clay, hey, thanks for coming in today. And talk about that defensive prowess. Where does that come from? That's defense usually right here.
Yeah, defense, I say defense wins games. Defense is 100% effort and how much you want to put out there. And I'm just the guy that likes to work hard, and to me it's real fun, and I just like it.
Coach, you mentioned the fact that your ability to play defense kind of got you some starting time. Mm-hmm. Was that a goal coming into the season, and you felt like, hey, if I can shut somebody down, I'm going to be valuable enough to be on the floor?
Yeah, and it doesn't just limit to playing defense. Like, it's getting extra possessions and being smart with the ball and knowing when to kick out and make smart passes and get offensive rebounds when I can and give our team more chances to score.
Stated. Well, Clay, what team goals or personal goals did you have coming into the season?
Personally, I'd like to be Catholic after last year and be Fairgrove again and, maybe get that district championship.
Looking forward to the blue and gold?
Yeah, looking forward to all of it.
Now you guys, are you in JQH on day one? Or
Yeah, we're in the gold. JQH, 5 o'clock on
Thursday.
We just by Spokane.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys are seeded.
Yeah, we're a 7 seed.
Yeah, I should know that. I've seen the tournament. It'll be okay. But hey, Clay, thanks for coming by today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. We're visiting with the Strafford Indians and head coach Tyler Ryerson here at Postgame Pizza in Marshfield, Missouri. This segment brought to you by Great Southern Bank. Great Southern Bank with more than 100 locations in 6 states. Great Southern Bank, they care as much about your money as you do. And Doak Propane in Baldwin, Missouri for all your propane needs in Polk County and surrounding counties. All the folks at Doak. And who do we have next, Coach?
This is Gabe Mahan. He's a senior for us this year, a big guy. We try to get Gabe the basketball inside as much as we possibly can. We think we're a better team when Gabe gets touches inside, and all of these guys sitting in here look for Gabe first. I mean, he's really, we get it into him, and usually we're at the free throw line or kick out threes. I mean, he's a big focus point of our offense.
Gabe, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Talk about your role and responsibility on the team as that guy that you got to get down. You got to get posted up. You got to make yourself open if you're going to be the first look.
Yeah.
So what's that like?
I see it as a big responsibility, and definitely getting the ball inside. It works out pretty well, especially it brings the defense in at the beginning of the game, which gets our guards open for threes later on.
Have you always been in this position? You're playing at 4 and 5?
Yes.
And you're a senior, obviously. Everybody here's a senior. But talk about your goals, personal and team goals coming into this season.
My goals this season is really just score as much as I can and rebound while I'm at it. They got a big man. My goal is to stop him, keep him from scoring and rebounding.
What's been here early in the season as we approach, blue and gold and the holiday season? What's been maybe your biggest challenge thus far this year?
Probably getting my way to rebounds, and free throws have been a little rough for me at the start.
A little rough?
It's been a little rough.
Everybody at the table knows it from me, I guess. But obviously been working on that.
I have been.
What do you do to kind of get mentally prepared, for a game? We've talked, and some folks they listen to music or study film. What do you do to kind of get mentally and physically prepared for a game?
I think we all have the same habits on our team. We watch film as a team, and we go off watch film on our own. And music is definitely a big part of it. To sit down, listen to music, and then think about our plays and what we're going to do through the game.
What's your go-to music? What's in your iPod?
We shouldn't go over that one.
She's coming down here today. I'm listening. I'm all Christmas music right now. So,
That's right. Yeah, that's what it is.
Christmas trap rock.
Never heard of that. That's Team do that or Frank Sinatra. Who does
There's
that?
a reason you haven't heard of it.
I wouldn't listen to it.
Okay, thanks for coming in today.
Of course.
Okay. And who do we have next, Coach?
This is Jacob Stowe. Jacob's a senior for us. Great shooter. I mean, lights out, knockdown shooter. I don't think he missed a shot this week in practice. I mean, just drives everybody nuts. Nobody can guard him in practice. Just shoots the heck out of it.
Jacob, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. So, have you missed?
Maybe
A few. What, you got a favorite spot on the floor? You don't have to tell me, but is there a spot on the floor where you feel like if you get to it, get spot up, you're not going to miss?
Usually on the wings and corners.
Is that something you kind of feel like before a game? I know I've talked to pitchers, they're warming up in a baseball game, and they feel like, okay, I'm getting spin rates are good, my slider's moving, I'm throwing strikes, I'm hitting my spots, just feel like they're on. You have a feeling like that when you got a basketball game, you're warming up, feeling, I'm not going to miss today.
I mean, it usually just depends. Like warm-ups, like when I'm shooting before the games, how it feels. If I feel good, I usually think I'm going to hit every shot.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite gym to play in, shoot in?
Probably our gym.
Well, besides your
Zach Savage.
No, not really.
Not really. I've heard folks, if they play JQH or something like that, it's kind of tough because the background is just so big behind the glass, and that's sometimes that kind of makes it a little bit tough. But you don't struggle with that, will you?
Shoot it anywhere.
Yeah, you have personal goals, team goals coming into this season.
Always the goal is to win a district championship, and then of course keep Catholic after last year.
Now, something happened last year. Everybody said Catholic.
They beat us 2 years in a row in the district championship.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm with you now. All right. Hey, thanks for coming in today, man.
Thank you.
And our last victim, I believe.
Yeah, this is Zach Luchin. Zach started for us last year at the beginning of the year. Season cut short at the end with a concussion, kind of a fluke thing. He was rebounding a JV warm up and somebody shot an air ball and hit him in the face. I mean, it was a bad deal. But he's back for us this year and playing really well. Starting shooting guard for us. Kind of starting shooting guard, backup point guard role, combo guard, and he's really shot it well. When he gets downhill and attacks, nobody can stay in front of him. I mean, great athlete, good player.
Zach, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. We are visiting with the Strafford Indians here at Postgame Pizza in Rogersville. We're in Marshfield. The Postgame Pizza's got 3 locations, one in Rogersville, one in Ozark, one right here in Marshfield, or you can go to postgamepizza.com and have the pizza waiting for you when you arrive. Zach, talk about your roles and responsibilities on the team.
Really just being a primary ball handler, spot up shooter, both, just try to get downhill to the rim, kick out, look inside to our post. Kind of really have to do it all this year. Last year kind of was a spot up shooter, had Dylan Lister bringing the ball down, but this year I got to step up in that role, bringing the ball down a lot too. So.
Yeah, as your role has changed, what's maybe been the biggest challenge going from last year to this year as far as your role change?
Probably just being a leader, getting everybody situated on the court where they're supposed to be at, in their right spots, making sure I'm doing the right thing. Coach is yelling at me on the sideline, what play to do. It's just chaotic a lot of the time, but you got to stay calm in it, so.
But you're having fun.
Oh, of course, it's a blast.
You had other games outside of Catherine, when we talked about that, were there games outside of that that coming into the season you were looking forward to?
Oh yeah, of course, like Blue and Gold. I mean, Hartville, Crane this year, Carthage. Looking forward to all those games, big games.
And what do you do to kind of get mentally prepared? I know you're handling the ball a lot. Obviously, there's some film study, things of that nature. What outside of that do you do to kind of get mentally and physically prepared for a game?
Sleep, really. Just a nice nap after school, that gets me going.
Find the energy.
Yeah, find the energy before. It's kind of a team thing. Get ourselves hyped up. You know, kind of just get our mind off of it. Just relax for a little bit. So.
Listening to that Christmas music.
Wow. You know, I don't know if I'm on the same page as them with that. I think they blur that stuff. I got my beats in listening to old Frank Sinatra.
There you go.
Not really.
Oh,
no, not really.
Oh, yeah, got you back. Gain a lot of respect for me. It's okay. Well, hey, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having us.
And we're visiting with Strafford Indians and head coach Tyler Ryerson. And coach, this week we got the Blue and Gold. This will actually air after on Saturday, which is day 3 of the Blue and Gold. And you got Spokane in the first round. What are you guys going to have to do well to be playing still on next Saturday?
Yeah, Spokane, they've got some size. You know, they really run their sets well. They have a couple of different continuity offenses that they go through, and they run it crisply. Play a kind of a wide 2-3 zone that's, if you don't prepare for it, it's gonna get you. But I think we've got a few days to prepare, and we can get our guys in the right spots and knock some shots down.
As you look back, and you're way early in your career, but who are some of the coaches maybe that you had as a player at the high school and collegiate level, and maybe guys that you've watched that you kind of maybe gained a lot of knowledge from, or maybe you stole some things from?
Oh yeah, well I think I've told our guys this. I've stolen everything we run at some point. I had the opportunity to play for Robert Korn at Missouri Southern, he's a Hall of Fame coach and he's a better person. Kind of thing. I can call him right now and ask him to drive down here and fix a tire with me, and he'd do it. As far as coaches I've learned from, man, the Brett Reed last night at Hartville, he's a great coach and does a really good job with him. I've stolen stuff from him. Dwayne Heiler at Mountain Grove, I've absolutely stolen stuff from him. I mean, you can go down the list, and I've probably stolen something from everybody. But those two guys are really good. I think all the coaches in our conference do a really good job. Tommy Eden, Nick Johnson at Trevor, obviously Cale Ramsey at Fairgrove. I think it's a really good group of young coaches right now.
It is. In this area, you've got those guys that you mentioned. Dwayne Heiler. He's been around a long time. You got Darren Taylor over at Greenwood. He's been around a long time, and John Schaefer at Rogersville's kind of in the middle of that group, where he's maybe a little bit closer to your age, maybe not, maybe a little bit closer to theirs as well. So getting he's probably 15 years into his career. Yeah.
I mean, it's we last week we played against Coach Heiler at Mountain Grove on Tuesday, and just to sit and visit with him and kind of pick his brain on stuff and what would you do in certain situations is very valuable as a young coach.
Very good. Coach, I really appreciate you guys coming in. I hope everyone has had a Merry Christmas when this airs, but you guys, hey, be safe out there, and as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. We'll step away and come back with some more interviews here on Jock 98.7 ESPN Radio for Postgame Pizza. I'm Guy Newton, the scoreboard guy. We'll be back after these things.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Favery hits it before the buzzer, so we have a 38-26 halftime in the lead. And we will be back in
Congratulations to Eden Favery, who just became the all-time scoring leader for the boys.
boys basketball team at Richland High School. The previous record was held by Charlie Carter with 1,536 points. Congratulations, Ethan.
So Ethan Fagery is now the all-time leading scorer at Richland High School. So now we will go into half.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a #1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life.
Welcome back to the S&H Farm Supply High School Highlight Show here on Jock 98.7 ESPN Radio. Certainly glad that you have tuned in. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. 3 seconds that can save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. This segment brought to you by First Independent Bank of Aurora, Missouri. First Independent Bank helping that community and surrounding communities grow by providing affordable home, auto, and commercial loans. And Postgame Pizza at postgamepizza.com. Locations in Rogersville, Ozark, and Marshville. Boy, welcome to the microphone now from Allen Hilliard Sports. Mr. Allen Hilliard. Allen, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fine today. It's a nice, beautiful February day in the middle of December here.
Yes, it is. It's coming down. I see some folks out on the golf course and people taking advantage of the nice weather. A lot of them trying to get their shopping in and finish up Christmas. All of this that will air actually the Saturday following Christmas. But Allen, first off, talk a little bit about what you do. I know we've had conversations, hour-long conversations about some of the basketball games, football games. You did a lot during football this past season, but kind of give us a rundown of what Allen Hilliard Sports is up to nowadays.
Right now during basketball, I'm covering a lot of Richland basketball games. I stream Waynesville games, Richland games, or I can either, sometimes I record them, sometimes they're live. But it's a great way for the teams to get exposure and to just be able to look at themselves afterwards. Sometimes literally right there after the game, it's up ready to go. And then I also do a weekly newsletter where I cover area sports around Phelps, Pulaski, Camden County, teams in that area, and then some away teams. Kind of depends on where they are, and I cover everything from youth all the way to Springfield Cardinals in the spring and summer.
Yeah, I know one time you're also writing for the paper.
I do some writing for the newspaper in Rolla as well, where I cover Rolla and S&T and St. James and Newburgh.
Very nice, and you do a little coaching on the side.
Yes, I do a coach for high school and an assistant track and cross country coach at Dixon, where I've helped them out for this my 6th year at various positions from high school to just junior high assistant coach. And then I also coach a youth basketball team, which we're currently doing pretty well this year, but they're learning at that age, so the outcome necessarily isn't the important part. It's as the process of them learning.
Now this is actually going to air on ESPN Saturday. We'll be 3 days into most of the holiday tournaments here. What are your plans here over the holidays? Blue and gold is obviously going on in Springfield, pink and white. You've got the Walnut Grove Holiday Classic going on. It actually started on December 21st, which is actually the day that we're filming or recording this and filming it, I guess. But what are your plans as far as coverage?
Well, I will be covering Waynesville and Rolla, along with other teams of the Rolla Holiday Tournament. This is, as far as I know at least, there's 6th or 7th year Waynesville has been part of that, and Rolla hosts a great tournament there. It's split between S&T and Rolla High School, and we have teams this year. They have from as far as Raytown South to girls teams out of St. Louis coming in, so it's a great spread of teams. I believe one is from Southwestern High School from Aso, Illinois, I believe. So there's competition there. Along with Rolla being state ranked, they have several other teams that are Lincoln College Prep, who was a team, a girls team that was in the state tournament last year.
Give us an idea of maybe the health of the athletics as you go east of Springfield. You're on the outskirts there. You're in Waynesville, and we've had the Waynesville softball was part of the show earlier this season. We've had others be part of the show. Dixon, we had the young man from Dixon that came up as well. His mom, I believe, taught at Waynesville. What's this overall health there in that area of the state?
Oh, the basketball and wrestling is both very strong, and basketball especially. To start the year, there was, I think, 4 girls state-ranked teams from Richland stretching all the way to St. James, and every Phelps County high school was state-ranked at the time. So boys basketball, I mean, they're not state-ranked currently, but when you compete against some of those St. Louis bigger schools that they play basketball year-round, a lot of those kids. Waynesville usually comes away with some pretty good wins. They have very good teams. Rolla, you can never count them out. St. James boys, they're 2-0 against Ozark Conference schools this year, so they're going to have a pretty good season, I feel.
As you look at just the coaches, in that area, obviously we just got done visiting with Coach Tyler Ryerson at Strafford. He talked about the coaches in this area of the state with regards to some of the guys who are more veteran coaches. Tyler Ryerson visiting with us, mentioning Dwayne Heiler, and down at Mountain Grove, you got Darren Taylor at Greenwood, and what are they? And I know at Waynesville you've got Chris Peltz, who's been at the college level, and there's obviously some other coaches around that are very good and doing a very good job.
Oh yes, some of them, especially with Steve Schofield, he's been to state with Iberia. He's currently at Dixon now, but when he was at Iberia, I believe 3 times his team went to state. And there's several, especially around the Frisco League, and even at Rolla, Charlie Parker, he was a Richland Bear last year and took over the Rolla head coaching job this year after their good season. And at Richland, he left a team that's doing very well also. So just the level of coaches there and the years they put into it. A lot of people don't realize coaches put in hours and hours of their own time working with the kids to get them better.
As you mentioned the Frisco League, that Frisco League is kind of an animal unto itself. The scores that I see coming out of those Frisco Leagues are 94, 90, and in the past, they've done this for years where they just get up and down the floor. It's got to be a fun brand of basketball to watch.
Oh, absolutely. Stretching from, for instance, like Steve Risler and the Licking Girls, they were a Final Four team, and they're very competitive. They've adjusted their schedule. I mean, they're playing a lot of, they've played Jeff City this year. They've played Kickapoo. They've played quite a few teams that small schools normally don't play. But just in the Frisco League itself, you have 4 or 5 girls teams that are just on par with each other that are balanced out. Last night, Richland beat Stoutland 57-52 in a back and forth ball game. The Dixon Lady Bulldogs are short on numbers, but they upset Newburgh and Dixon with only 5 girls in a team of about 15 that had on the other bench. So it's just the competitive nature of it. And for the boys, a couple years ago, I think Dixon lost a game 109-106 in the first game of the year to, I forgot who they played. It might have been Bell or something, but it was just a shootout the whole game, 3-point shots.
So you got the Rolla tournament this week, and then go right into it's 2020. Yep, it's right around the corner.
And we'll start out with Richland has a varsity girls game against Bell on the 3rd at 5:30, and then I don't remember who they play, but I'm also going to be broadcasting the varsity boys game, which will be probably 8 o'clock that night.
Very nice. Very cool. Well, I'll tell you what, we appreciate you coming down here and filming this, and folks can watch this interview, the Strafford interview, which we just did, and that'll be at AllenHilliardSports.com or very good.
I'll get on there, plus it'll be on YouTube and Facebook, they're all the same name.
All right, very good, Alan. We appreciate it. We can step away, take a time out, and listen to the SNH Farm Supply High School Highlight Show with Jock. 98.7 for Post-Game Pizza in Marshfield, Missouri. And this segment brought to you by the Bank of Billings. Bank of Billings, established in 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. We'll be back after these minutes.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.